Hi everyone. In this video lesson, I'm going to be providing an overview of Project 1 and will introduce you to the reading clusters that you will be using for that project. Be sure to carefully read the Project 1 assignment sheet and the reading cluster module though to be successful. This is just an overview today. So for your first major project this semester, you'll be writing an argument essay. The purpose of the assignment is trifold. So first, you'll be learning to engage with and respond to different kinds of text like articles, podcasts, etc. Number two, you'll be exploring topics of interest that will maybe lead to potential research topics. I've seen many students over the years develop their argument essays into much longer, more focused research projects. And then number three, you'll be learning to make an argument and support it with textual evidence from sources. In other words, I want you to think of this argument essay as practice for the longer research project later this semester, because all of these are skills that you will need then. Your ultimate goal in the argument essay is to make a persuasive argument that weighs in on an ongoing conversation about a topic related to our course theme. You'll begin by choosing a reading cluster related to our course theme of nature. I've already created the reading clusters, and you'll essentially have 5 different topics that you can choose from. As you read the articles in those different reading clusters, you're going to practice various strategies for summarizing and responding. So you're going to need to kind of compare the differences and similarities between how the authors talk about their topics and ultimately, what is it that you have to say about the topic. There are 2 criteria I want to highlight before we move on to the reading cluster specifically. So first and foremost, I want you to remember that this is an argument essay. So you will be stating your own opinion in the form of a persuasive thesis for a specific audience. You'll be developing your essay by utilizing at least 2 of the essays or articles that you read for your chosen reading cluster. And then finally, the essay will be 4 to 6 pages, double-spaced, using standard MLA documentation. Okay, let's stop there in terms of Project 1 and talk a little bit about the reading clusters, which is where the bulk of this project is going to originate. First, I want to show you where to find the reading clusters and their explanations. So in the modules section of our course, you will see right under the Getting Started module, you'll see a module for reading clusters. If you click on this reading clusters page, you will find an introduction to the reading clusters as well as all of the links and readings for them. So I want to explain this a little bit. So I'm going to read this first introductory paragraph to you. Below, you will find 5 clusters of readings. These clusters represent different academic conversations related to our course theme. All of these will allow you to explore a topic that you are personally interested in and will provide you with varying perspectives on the topic, so not all of these agree. As you will learn, each writer has a different stance and often uses different genres, techniques, and evidence to communicate their ideas. In Project 1, the argument essay, you're going to join one of these conversations by presenting your own perspective on an issue related to it. So in other words, you're going to be making an argument related to one of the topics below and will use those readings in that particular category to support your argument. But before you can do that, you must first listen in to what others are saying about the topic. So your first step is to choose one of the topics or clusters below. Then over the next few weeks, you will read the text listed only in that category. All of the timings of the readings and their due dates are listed in the syllabus schedule. So just a quick overview. There are 5 categories. The first is national parks. So if you choose that category, you will only be reading these materials. Then there's conservation and hunting. Again, if you choose this category, you will only read these. Environmental injustice, nature and health, and then finally nature and digital technology. I encourage you to browse through these articles before choosing the topic that you think you are interested in, because I think you'll find that there may be some that you are more drawn to than others. I want to briefly show you on the schedule how you can find the due dates for all of these readings, but there will be more next week in your module. Okay, so here is our schedule, which is found on the last few pages of your syllabus. Next week, week 3, you will choose officially the reading cluster that you want to work with, and will begin reading the assigned text in that cluster. So you will see in week 3, you'll see that you will need to read cluster reading A and cluster reading B. So that means that if you choose conservation and hunting, then you will use reading A and B from that category. Again, I'll explain all of this and remind you again of this next week as you start working with your chosen reading cluster, but today I wanted to give you an overview. So please keep in mind, this is just a review of the materials. In the coming weeks, you're going to be learning a lot more about the assignment, the reading clusters, and we'll be working together to develop an effective argument. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I can't wait to see what you choose.